I'm Gabe Henderson, Amber Nichols, back for another segment of our storylines. How you doing today, Amber?
Pretty good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. I always told you when we were in high school, we're both from Raleigh, and I always said you were my favorite, female basketball player growing up. But you played in Raleigh, you played at Richmond, and now you've been working with some NBA teams. You started off with the Sacramento Kings, now you're with the Washington Wizards. But how did you get there? Give me a backstory. Give us the backstory of how you got, to where you are right now.
So after playing high school basketball at Broughton for 4 years, I got a full basketball scholarship to play at the University of Richmond, which is in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Pretty much knew that I probably wasn't going to try to play professionally overseas. So what I did was I knew I wanted to be an NBA GM one day. So started preparing myself for that my sophomore year in college, and then started interning with the Redskins in marketing. Started working as a student assistant in public relations with the Richmond Spiders. We kind of met a couple times when you played football at Richmond. And then after that, I went and got my master's from the University of Georgia. Also interned while I was getting my master's, and just so happened that the Sacramento Kings had an opening in ticket sales, so saw that as a way to kind of break into the sports industry in the NBA, and then from there just networked and finally got over to basketball operations to kind of start that journey to becoming a GM.
And you just talked about you want to be a GM. There's no female GMs. Does that discourage you at all, or that's like, motivation to, be that first GM?
I wouldn't say it's discouraging. It's kind of hard to deal with just because I don't have anybody before me to kind of follow their path to kind of measure up my own journey. But I will say that it's also motivation because my whole life I've just felt that I've been destined to do something great. So it doesn't really bother me. It's just, fuel to the fire.
Yeah, and you and your mom, y'all, every time I see a picture, it's y'all two just, bonding. Just talk about that relationship and how she's, pushed you to get you to where you are today.
My mom's is my best friend, for real. She's been supportive from the first time I ever dribbled a basketball to now. She's pretty much the one I tell everything to every day. I usually try to carve out 1 or 2 hours of my time just to talk to my mom. And she's always been supportive, always a church-going woman, so definitely believes in Christ and always tells me to keep God first. So she's definitely somebody that understands the importance of what I'm trying to do, so she's definitely supporting me through thick and thin. So
John Wall is your cousin, and you work with the Wizards, you work with the Kings, but how has he helped you, just to understand the game of basketball better?
Well, John and I were really close when we were younger, and then we sort of got close as I started playing high school basketball. He would come to my games, I'd be at all his games. I would get up early and go watch him work out at the YMCA in the mornings, but he's always been somebody that I can text. And he just has that knowledge of the game through his experiences, and he's always been somebody that I can share the love of basketball with. So whenever I was struggling back in high school, having a tough game or struggling with like leadership, I would able to call him or text him, and he'd be able to tell me what he saw from his standpoint going through the same thing. So it's pretty cool that I get to be around him every day and just kind of see how he's grown so much in his NBA career. He's in year 7 right now. Going to be a 4th-time All-Star, so just to be able to be a witness to that and be close to that as possible is pretty cool.
All of us being from Raleigh, how has that motivated you and also pushed you, to keep, growing and getting better and putting on for the city?
Well, everywhere we go, I feel like everybody from Raleigh, says that we're from Raleigh. That's something that I take pride in, and it's really cool seeing people from such a small town kind of stick together and take the world by storm in different outlets. And I just think that's really cool that we have pride in our city, because Raleigh's really a dope place to come from. Like J. Cole lives there now, so it's just kind of, he's like the soundtrack to my life. So just being able to have that memory with and share that with all of our friends and family, that's just really cool. And I hope that the young kids in Raleigh kind of pay attention to what we're doing and kind of follow suit, so we can really get our city on the map as a place of young people who are striving to do something entrepreneurial or sports, whatever it may be, that we're gonna get it done.
A female or anybody trying to follow your shoes, what do you tell them? What do you tell them to, to be successful?
I would tell them to endure, most importantly. Kind of plan out what it is that you want to do and just endure. It's going to be some hard times. You're going to struggle. There's going to be things that don't go your way. Opportunities are not going to open for you. Doors are going to close, but you just have to stay patient and just endure and realize why you started in the first place. And then from there, I just think as persistent as you are, the perseverance you have, that's what's going to put you over the top.
Basketball has been your story to get here, but outside of basketball, even if you include it, what's your storyline? Just your personal storyline.
That's a tough one. My personal storyline would probably be can't tell you where I'm going. It's a J. Cole line. It's can't tell you where I'm going, just know I won't stop. Goodbye to the bottom, hello to the top. So that's my storyline because I kind of started as like an unranked player, started from the bottom, wasn't really recruited like that. Finally got a scholarship, and now I know that I'm kind of starting from the bottom again as far as the NBA goes. So can't tell you where I'm going to end up, but just know that it's going to be somewhere in one of these top level positions for an NBA team one day.
Amber, appreciate your time
Thank
today.
you.
Good luck with everything that you do.
Thank you.
I'm Gabe Henderson, and that's Amber Nichols.
Thank you.